So guys, rather than doing a simple plot, in the dummy data set, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use an actual data set. I'm going to work on that. We will be implementing all pandas that we have done, and we will discuss a project in this video. So rather than just doing a dummy stuff and just going to do the basic plotting, I will give you a proper data set and you will be plotting on that. So what you will do, you will just first create a markdown cell, and this I'm just giving a heading: plotting by Seaborn. Once you're done with this, I think I need to do quite like this. You should do it like this. Now, what I'm going to do, a straightforward, very simple method, is going to import the pandas, import the Seaborn. So Seaborn is imported from Seaborn as SNS. Now, SNS is an alias like pandas PD. Next, what I'm inputting matrix, which is not required at the moment. So you don't need to worry about this particular accuracy part. Let me also go and check if I'm okay. I've done the complete plotting, so no issue. But for plotting, this is not required. Not required plotting. Okay. Once you're done with this, I'm importing few files. Now, where to get these files? Simply go on Kaggle, go on Compete, click on Titanic dataset, means Titanic project. If you're not able to see it here, it should be somewhere here, or it can be in complete project. So wherever you find it, search for Titanic. You can search it like this too. So you just need to click Titanic, okay, and you will find this. Once you find it, just click on it, okay. Once you click on it, you will be seeing these tabs: overview, data, notebook, discussion, leader, and rules. Which one you want to click? You can read about the data set from here. You can watch a video. You can get the entries and details from here, okay. Once you're done with this, you can easily click on data tab like this. Once you go on this page, I want you to do two things. First, read the overview and data dictionary. Now, this is Amit data sheet basically. I want you to spend time and read what are these columns. So, I'll explain you a little bit. Survive column is survive. It is the main target column that you are looking for. This whole project discuss about people on the ship and how they survive. So we need to predict who will survive, who will not survive, and why a person will survive or not. That we will be doing a discussion by Simon plotting. So you can see we are doing a data analytical project. We are trying to get the insight from the data set. Okay. So coming back to the sheet, survive is survive. That is the target value, which has the value 0 and 1. 0 stands for no. That means person didn't survive. And 1 stands for yes. That means person did survive. Moving forward to the next row, it is P class. We have ticket class, and we have numbers inside this like 1, 2, and 3. 1 is for the first class, 2 is the second class, and third is the third class. Guys, 1, 2, 3 basically means 1 is the first class, means the good quality class, then middle quality, and the third quality. Okay, third is the lowest, 1 is the highest. Next row is sex column. Now, sex has two categories. It is not presented here, but I already know this. We have male and female. Now, male and female are categorical stuff. It is an objective type of column. Now, we will also discuss what is objective type, what to do with it in pandas, and we will also discuss how to plot it in Seaborn. Moving for we are going for age. Age is in air for human. So every person has an age, and that age is described in this column. And going on, we will discuss SIB SP, which is of sibling, spouse, aboard the Titanic ship. Okay, so whichever your sibling and spouse are present on the ship, it is discussing that particular value. Then we have parts, which is parent and child. So if you have a parents there on the ship, if you have a child on the ship, that is discussed here. Moving further, we have ticket. Now, ticket has ticket number. Fare has passenger number. Now, guys, ticket number is a random combination of number and string, so it is not that much useful. It's just ticket number. Passenger ID is just like that too. It is just an ID of the person. Then we have cabin. Cabin is basically the cabin number, so whichever cabin you are in. And embark is the part of the ship. So I hope you already know that, like aiming, beaming in the building, we have embark, q, p, and c. I think it's s. Yes. So c, q, s is the area of the ship, basically, you can see. So these are the columns that we're going to have. So we have around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is 10 at the moment, but there will be a passenger ID column too, which will be present. So I think 11, 12 columns will be there that you have to handle. And you can simply scroll down. You can also read the approximate socio-economic status, upper, middle, and lower. Age is of human age, and siblings has already described that brothers, sister, stepbrother, stepsister in sibling. Spouse means husband, wife, mistress, and fiance are ignored. Parch data set, again family relation in the way, and parents are mother, father. Child is daughter, son, stepdaughter, stepson. Some children travel only with the nanny, and therefore Parch is zero for them. I hope you get the idea. Once you scroll down, you will also notice that you have some data explored part, and you have some gender submission file. So you have three files basically in this particular folder, that is gender submission, test, and train. What you need to do, you have to pick these files according to the requirement. Initially, we can only work on training part, and that is more than enough. We are not going to talk about test and gender submission at the moment. They both are not really required at the moment. Okay, we are only going to discuss train part and their plotting. And so all you need to do, you have to just click on this, or you can click on this, download all, whichever you want to click, and you will get all the three folders. You will get a zip file which you have to keep somewhere. So you have to keep the file and the launcher you can do on the same folder. That means this CSV file should be in the same folder where you are launching it. You can import. Okay, and once you're done with this, you can move forward. Okay, so guys, this is main sheet that we're going to work on. So as I discussed, you have to import pandas, Seaborn, and scale and matrix is something that is optional. You don't really require it right now, so you can leave this particular import. Once I'm done with importing, so let me import this. Once I'm done with importing, I'm also importing gender submission just to show you the sample of final result that should be there. I'm just printing the head, and this is what I'm looking for. So patches ID and survive should be in the submission file. Now, this submission is talking about the Kaggle submission, so don't worry about it at the moment. We will discuss this at the very ending, but not right now. Once you're done with this, we'll just check the shape and move forward. Now I'm importing the actual files, which is train. Test is something that you don't need to involve right now. You just go for train part and then do the plotting. So importing this, printing the head of both. So X head is this. As you can see, I have passenger ID, survive column, P class, name, sex, age, sibling, parch, ticket, fare, and cabin and embark. So these are the columns that we have. As you can see, we have around 12 columns. Okay, we have around 12 columns. What I'm doing, I'm using info to print the information of this particular data set. So I'm using x.info. I'm printing the complete column. In the info part, you can see that I'm getting 891 entries. Index start from 0 to 890. Columns are 12 as discussed, and we have these columns. As you can see, we have some values in front of it. This value represent that, okay, this many values are present and these many values are not present here. This is how what you need to decide. Once you are aware that okay, few columns have some null values, so cabin has a lot of null value. Only 204 values are there. Remaining are empty, and 217 values are there, and remaining is empty. We also have some missing value in embark that I noticed. It is around 2, and I think 3 columns are there which are having some null values. We will check this again later. Right now, the data type, the last time I will tell you the data type that you have. So I have 2 float, 5 integer, and 5 objective. Now, objective is categorical value. Male, female, QP as kind of category are there in the column, and that is what it is counting. So I have 5 objective column. Moving forward, what I'm doing, I'm just printing the correlation between these columns. You can see that I'm having passenger survives P class age sibling parts in fair, and it is giving me the correlation between these two. This correlation basically mean that how much they are intercorrelated and how much they are affecting each other. If two things are way too much correlated, you can always take wiser decision, better decision on the on the basis of this correlation. Now again, never follow correlation just blindly. Correlation matters just give you a lot of information, but it should never be followed blindly. Moving forward with this, what I'm doing next is x dot is null dot sum. What I'm achieving from this is I'm going to achieve that all the null value that I'm having. So if you just go for x dot is null, it will give you true and false for each and every row. Which have null value, it will be true. Which have null dot null value, it will be false. What I'm doing next is I'm using dot sum function, which will count all these values. So how many trues and false are there, and will count it for me and give the output for me. So let's see an output and we'll get the idea. Right now, I'm getting patient ID is this, and age is this, cabin is this, and embark is this. So this is what I'm getting when I use this cabin and embark part. So I hope you get the idea that this is how you print the null value that you have in a data set. And once you're done with printing this, you can move forward and you can filter it out all the null values that you have by Boolean indexing tool. Now, once we are done with this, let's print the Boolean expression of this. So Boolean indexing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use x dot is null is null is greater than 0. Let me also put, oh, sum is there. Let me make it complete is sum, and this will be index not like this. Sum, and this will be, I hope the step is correct. Let me run it. Okay. So let us talk about this plot. This plot has two things that it will give you a histogram as well as the KDE curve. Now, what is KDE curve? When you have a histogram like this, say this is my plot one, then the second layer, then the say third, and say fourth. Just giving an example. And this is my plot. What KD curve do? It smoothen the curve for me. So it just smooth out the whole curve, and basically KDL help you. KD curve help you that you want to find that this area, this particular area, how much data's value and it is points that we are having at this area. So we can calculate this area if we are having a curve, but it is very hard to calculate if we just have this kind of line. Okay, next to next. Now, if I ask you how much value do you have in this area, at this particular area, it is very hard to figure it out because we have this particular gap here. But if you have a curve, you can calculate, you can at least try to calculate. Okay. So it may smoothen the curve, it give you more readability, more understanding of the plot that you're having. So it help you a lot of way. And let's start with the plot and see what it is going to do. So I'm just running age. So I'm giving age as an input. So X age, and I'm giving this input. And I'm getting this curve. Now this curve tells us a lot of things, and there's a lot of information involved in this. First of all, the age start from zero. Okay, it goes to 80. Second, we have a lot of young children. Below 18, we already know that we consider everyone as a child. We also have a lot of newborn baby around 0 to 1 year. 0 to 1 year old means they are literally newborn babies. Okay, and then we have children between 0 to say 18, and we can say we have this much population for kids. Okay, and the moment we cross 60, this much population is for old people. Now old people are not that many. Majority of the people belong to the mid age. Majority of the people belong to the mid age. Now this means that we have young adult people far more than the old and children. But as compared to old and children, we have a lot of child on the ship. That means there is a driven calculation that you can have. Now this derivation is that you have females which have children with them. So any female which is meaning who is with her child on the ship will be given a high priority to survive. Okay, to go on the ship and survive. Now, if this woman also belongs to a higher class, the probability increased to a great extent. Okay, so a female from high rich family who is with her child will be having the highest priority to survive, which is a very important conclusion. So I hope you get the idea what I'm getting. So it is not like that you have to go with KD curve every time. You can also remove the KD curve if you don't like it. What you need to do, you have to put KDE equals to false. Once you do this, you will see that current density curve is gone. Now you have just a histogram. Now histogram tells you a far better things, that it gives you a clear idea. Okay, this is the area where I'm looking for the childrens, and we have say 40 childrens of 0 to 5 age, you can say. Then around below 20 means around 15 we have been between, and little 15 above we have for 10-year-old. This is the area where I have a lot of childrens. And for old, now it is more clear that how many old people we are having. So again, very few people for 80 years, very few people. uh, Same scenario for 60 above and 70-year-old people. Decent amount for 60, you can say 1650-year-old people. Decent amount is there. But again, the majority is between the say 18-year-old to, we can say, 30 40 below. This is the majority of people you are having. So all the young people are on that ship, which is a very tragic thing, because we lose so many young people on the ship. But again, that is what how the studying goes on. And we have this finding that we have a majority from the middle aged people. Okay, we do expect that we might have outliners who are paying higher fare and all those things, which are belonging to this area. So rich people should be from this area only. They are less, but they have a lot of money, because they are aged and they must be having a lot of savings, and they must be using it for the ship. And middle people, obviously, the middle class, third class people are belonging to this area where we have the highest number of population. It is just prediction. I'm not saying it is like that. I'm just making my assumption as per the plotting that I'm getting. Okay. So moving forward, now we'll plot a histogram, but I will not use any Seaborn library for this. What I'm doing, I'm using pandas only for the plotting. So what I'm saying that I will use pandas for plotting. Okay, so let's try it. What I'm doing, I'm trying to plot a histogram and in pandas. So when I run this, I will see something like this. So as you can see, I'm having these values, which is not required at the moment. Just move forward and see the plot. So guys, we are having this kind of plot where you can see that number and age is almost gone into each other, and it is very hard to read at the moment. Okay, why? Because upper side it is written something else, at the bottom it is written something else, and because of this all plotting at once, we are having a hard time. So any numerical column which are having the heading will be, overlapping each other. It is hard to read, but again, we are getting all the plots. What we can do, we can pick one column at a time and we can do the plotting like this. What I'm doing, I'm just picking age, and we get this histogram. A very decent and very informative plot is there, which will solve our issue. So whatever we want to do and whichever plot we want to pick, we can simply put a histogram like this, and very easy. Just x dot, column name dot histo and parenthesis, and get plot it. So matplot, sorry, the pandas library has improved to a very great extent, which will give you a plotting tool these days. It saves a lot of time. You can see you don't have to use a third party library, but again, the quality of plotting varies a lot. So you can see that, look at the quality of this plot, look at the quality of this plot. The quality of plotting is varying a lot. We don't have any label, we don't have any x and y label, which is sometimes really required to get the understanding. When you have 15 plot or 20 plot, you like to see the labels around there, and you also like to see the title, so that you know that what this plot is all about. You cannot really look at the code and read the code again and again every single time when you're doing the analytical work, right? And you will be seeing these plots again and again, just to coming back and forth, just to get the complete proper conclusion. Okay. So that being said, let's move forward to the next, where I'm using histogram on the fair part. So I'm using x fair dot hist, will plot it, and it will give you a very important information. That important information is that, I'm having majority of the people who are paying less. Okay. So as I told you, the majority are in the mid age, and mid age people don't have much money. So what we are having, you can see the young people are paying in the third class. Then we have this middle class. Okay. Then we have this, you can say, little higher class, and this must be the higher class. Okay. And you can say, actually, I already know that we have at least one or two points here which is not visible at the moment, but they are. If you do a scatter plot, this should be very visible. So clearing this. Okay. They're giving a count plot. So let's move forward, and also a box plot here. Okay. So x dot box plot, I'm using all the columns. So every column is showing me some values. This this point is showing me that I have some outline and fair. So this is not showing any outline at the moment, but box plot is a very good plotting way of picking the outline. So what I can do, I can also pick x dot fair fair dot, so box plot. I missed something. Season. Oh, I have picking one single column. Oh yes, series cannot be picked as a single. I have to go with like this. So let's not go for box plot then. Let's pick scatter plot. Make it scatter. So let's make it SNS dot scatter. I hope I'm using the right name. Let me move this and X. If I give complete X, it won't be giving me a proper result. So I need to use X dot fair. And again, the data has to be like that, and this error will be there. So not getting any value right now. I have to give y-axis to. So I will put a y. That will be my. So let's make it y as, let's pick age, because I want to see fair versus age only. So as I know that young people are there, so I have run it, and this is my plot. What I'm getting is that, majority again, guys, age 0 to the 80. So 0 to 80 is the age, and the fair is from starting from 0 to 500. What I'm getting is that a majority of the people are in this area. Okay. And you can see the division too. So few people are from 80 years, and majority of people are in the middle People have paid above 100, very few have paid above 200, and just one or two, I believe, are paying this much. That is almost, you can say, 2 or 3 dots. Okay, so I'm getting this, and both are telling the same story. Boxplot is also telling me this, that we have some outliners. This is also telling me that we have some outliners. So both are telling the same story. Now what we can do, so let us add alpha equals to, say, zero point 0.4, and run it. And we at least have a clarity that we have some overlapping. At least there are 2 or 3 dots, and at least it clears me that I have some, outliers in the value. I can move forward with this, and I can, simply count the value and all those things, whichever value has the highest, you can say, the count. So let me also add one more thing, where we have done the gender part. And to survived survive with sex. So let me also put a cross tab before this. So pd dot cross tab. I will just pick, say, I will pick sex, obviously, and that is one comment I need to put. And I want to also pick survived, and it will show you the number, which how many female and male are there which have survived and did survive. So the calculation that I was doing here, by simple assumption, you could also use cross tab to get a clarity over it. Let me also copy this, and let's move forward. And okay, I need to correct this part. So let's do. Okay. And we're getting simple straightforward that we have these IDs, and we have people who have paid 512 rupees. Now that means, sorry, that's a dollar, and they are paying this amount. And initially, as you can see, guys, while we look at the image, we don't really spot that we have three people. Okay, no matter how cleanly you're spotting, you will only count two people at maximum. You will never spot three people. So that is why I'm saying, don't follow it blindly. Box plot is a decent way, but you should also check by numbers. That is a good habit to keep, and I hope it makes sense to you. So moving forward, what we can do next is that we are just counting the siblings that we have, and how many siblings we have on the ship. And we are having, uh, you can say, we can have 8 people, very less. They are hardly, guys, approximation is very hard in this portion. So you can say hardly 5 to 10 people are there who have 8 people in the family. Same scenario for 5, and 4 has little higher, and 3 has a little higher, 2 has a little higher. So few people have 2, 3, and 4 people in the family. One is very common, so maybe most of the couples are there, and majority is having no family members, so they are all alone on the ship. That is one thing to be spotted. So we have a higher number of people who are not on the ship. So I hope that makes sense. Simple count plot is there. Sibling is spouse. What's what I'm doing. Same plot is again. So no use to run the same plot again. All right. So let's make some changes. Copying this, and say I want to add few things. So Hugh is there, and we'll we'll add some column. Let's not talk about it, and say we also want to use palette. So I think, okay, let's add it as x dot. So let's study about survival if it gives some decent number, and palette is there, and we can use say rocket is the color combination. I hope I'm writing the name correct. Okay, it is a correct name. So I'm getting an output, and in the output I'm getting 0 and 1. Okay, and this 0 and 1 has this combination. So orange is for people who did survive, and 0 is for people who didn't survive. So as per the family size, who have no people with them, they have a higher casualty. Who have at least one couple, couples have survived more, and you can see that in the ratio where the family was really big, casualty is also there. So you can say that when you are with spouse, there is a little connection with the survival, and when you are alone, death casualty is higher, and only 50% people who are alone have survived, and the couple have survived more than the people who have died with the couple part. So again, not telling too much, but at least having some insight that okay, this kind of scenario is good for surviving, and this kind of scenario is not good for surviving. So I hope you get the idea how to do this part. And let's move forward. Heat map correlation, just printing it, and when you print this, you get in color combination clear cut. That is, you're getting one for lighter color, zero for darker color, and you can see the combination, and you can see the survive column is literally connected to fair column, and it is giving you a clear picture that okay, fair is playing a decent role in surviving. Obviously, the P class was playing a very decent role in surviving, but you can see that P class is black at the moment. That doesn't mean that P class is not playing any role. Fair and P class are connected to each other, so you can say that oh yes, fair is playing a decent role. Moving forward, I'm using a note is true. That means I want to see the number over it. Okay, so I'm putting numbers here, and as you can see, these are the numbers I'm getting. One thing to understand that when you're plotting the chart like this, getting a note is a good idea. It gives you a very clear picture that what you want to calculate or how you should be calculating. Color shade is something that you do understand, but little gray shade, little blacker shade is hard to understand even people who have normal eyes. So better to have number two, so both together can tell you a lot of things that you cannot get alone. So it is a helpful thing to have. So my suggestion is always have a note activated. Moving forward, what we can do, okay, this is just comments. I don't know why I have this cell. Let's remove it. And I'm going for a pair plot. Now, pair plot is a very strong plot that we have in Seaborn, and it takes this data set, and you can give hue and this and that. A lot of parameters are there, but to be frank, just give it blank and run it. It takes little time, obviously, because we are right now plotting. Uh, we are doing plotting for like heat map. So we have all the columns at the left, we have all the column at the bottom, and we are doing this plotting. So instead of this colored circle, we will each cell will be a plot. So every cell that you are looking at here will be a plot here in pair plot, and that is why it is taking this much of time. So you must have observed that it took a decent amount of time, and this is the plot that it is giving. Now it will select which bar has to be bar plot, which has to be scatter plot, whichever value is given, it will plot it like that. Okay, you have to understand that this is passenger ID, and at the bottom we have the same column. Survive column is the main column that we are looking for. So survive column with fair, okay, and survive column with fair. We can also look at like this. Survive is this, and this is my fair. You can see that we have outliner here too, and outline is spotted. We have age, and we have some old people in the age too. Some people have spotted, and this is with fair. So with we have done this plotting above too, that we have this scatter plot, and we have a few dots and above away from it, and you get the clear picture. So you can also observe the diagonal. So whenever you look at the diagonals, you can get a decent plot. This is my age plot, I believe, and age plot is with respect to age only. So we are getting this kind of plot. We can easily spot some young children are there. And again, guys, the size is really small. So once you do the pair plot, you can simply pick the decent plots that you're liking, and have an independent single plot for that. So if I want to see age versus age, I can just go and do the bar plot for this and observe it in bigger size. You can also control the figure size by matplotlib figures, and that will give me a bigger size for this. Okay, so I hope it makes sense to plot it like this and get the idea. And these are the same scenarios. So scatter plot is there, every plot is there. So you don't want to kill your time on this. I hope you get the idea. You can have multiple plot by pair plot. So this is for plotting part of Seaborn. Now again, guys, Seaborn is not a small library. It is a very big library, and we only pick the you can say the plots which are really useful. Whenever you want to do more R&D on Seaborn, you can always go on the Seaborn documentation. If you search for Seaborn, click on it, you can see that we have n number of way of plotting. Okay, subplotting is there, different kind of plotting is there, and you can see any plot. So this is a bubble plot. We are getting this kind of plot here. You can see how the plotting has been done. So cubic length petal, and we are giving the values. We are giving the x value as distance, y is orbit period, and other things are there. And we just simply go and plot it, and we get this kind of plot. And for each plot, you can simply go on the code. So if you want to see how this third three kind of code is done, time series plotted with error band, and I'm getting this kind of plot with this kind of data set. So I'm using line plot and giving these kind of values and getting this kind of plot. So I hope you get the idea. Going back, you can have multiple plots like this too. So you have multiple plot or scatter plot matrix. What I'm doing here, I'm just using a Seaborn as some theme is this doesn't matter, and I'm using a pair plot. Okay, pair plot. I'm giving hue is species, and these species are getting plotted here. Okay, this is how beautiful you can do work. You can do with pair plot, and style theme and everything is also important. So whichever you want, whichever way you want to go for. We have three classes in Penguins, I believe, and that is why we are seeing three clear here. And they're giving you the plot according to their level and structure. So length, bill length, bill depth, and all those things are there, and we're getting this kind of output. The names of the species are also given. And again, I'm not going to get too deep into this because I'm not really very familiar with the data set, but at least you get the idea that you can do this kind of plotting. So a very beautiful presentation can be also prepared with Seaborn, but that is not required when you're doing the R&D. We just need the plot and we need to work on it. So we don't really kill much time on plotting. We just move forward and get the job done. So that is what I'm suggesting. You should be doing that too. And so getting back, this is my plot, and this is how I'm getting the things done. This is my heat map and plotting. So this is all for the video right now, and we will discuss later that how to do further job. So we have also done you can say some other plotting, some other work, and it is almost same scenario. So let's also run let's also run these cells. Let's see what we are having. So I'm just removing embark for this, and dropping the unwanted column. So guys, again, dropping an unwanted column is a very important step too. What I'm doing here, I'm dropping name, ticket, and cabin. Cabin has a very high number of null values. Ticket is useless. It's a combination of number which is not really related to the survive part, and name is there. So what I'm doing, I'm just running this cell. I've dropped all the column. If you print X head and Y head now, you will not see these column in here. Okay, you have dropped this column. You are at this position. I'm importing matplotlib here and Seaborn again. You don't really need to import it again. I'm just using matplot, so I'm importing it. I'm putting a bar chart. Okay, I'm putting a bar chart here. Let it good. And I'm having this male and female combination. Now I'm using survive column. That is not a good thing to do, because it is between 0 and 1. So I'm giving it and the wrong position too. So sax should come and the y-axis, x-axis, and y-axis should be there. So cutting this, let me put it like this, putting this back. Oh, I have to run above cells too, I think. Okay, so let me change it again. So it will be, So let's make it a little simpler. So let us take the definition first. We need x and height. So what we can do, we can simply change it. First of all, let's remove the survive for now here, and it will be asking for height now. What we can do, let me check the value. Okay, so we can use number of values, right? So we can use height here. So again, it will not give us the satisfactory result here. I think this plot is by default here by mistake only. So even if I want to do this, I will simply use not even as x. I will simply use x dot say shape. Okay, for height, and I will just pick zero. Zeros will be having the how many rows we have, and again, but it will not give you any different result. It will just take the height as a number. So left side axis will take the number. So as you can see, we're getting 0 to 800. But again, this is as actually the same. So this is not what you required. If I want to do it in a decent fashion, what I will actually do, make it simple. So I will simply put it as sex, and with sex I will say history. Okay, so I will say histogram, and I will put this will give me far better result instead of that kind of plot. This is a better result. I think these plots are some experimental plots rather than correct plot. Here I'm just putting scattered, and I'm giving age and survive. I don't know what kind of plot you will give. Again, not a decent plot what I'm looking for. So must be a mistakes plot. And what is giving this one? It's giving me a hist of age. This is giving me a hist of fair. I think it is a repeated plot, so not really useful, and just a cross tab of male and female. So I think this is done, and this is all the for the plot part. And bar chart is also very good for comparing, but I have used the shortcut rather than doing the bar chart. So quite straightforward, easy code, nothing so very complex. And if I go further, this I'm using Seaborn again, doing the heat map. Now guys, this plot is quite decent. uh, you will notice that I'm using multiple things here. So age, sex, fair, B class, sibling parts would really require all this column like this. You can simply give X and correlation. What I'm doing next is I'm using C map, and in this I'm giving SNS color petal, cool warm 10 colors. I'm picking. A note is true in this case. FMT dot 0 will give simply dash dot values for me. B main and B max will give minimum and the maximum value. Okay, so if I just press shift tab, and you will see that you will get all the explanation here. Okay, you'll get all the explanation what is used for what, and these are the definition for each and every value. You can see that string formatting code to use, adding annotation, and I hope you get the idea. So just putting the values here, running here, and getting this kind of result. So I'm getting -1 to +1 range, and values are there, and color are very different. That helps a lot. So at least I know below 0.25 I have blue, then above I have a kind of cream, then more it is going towards one, I'm getting orange, or you can say oranging kind of color. So it helps a lot to understand what is going on and what to do, what not to do. So I hope you getting the idea on this, and let's move forward. Then I'm printing column, then I'm putting the same plot, I believe. I'm just not using a note, and this is what I'm getting. And as you can see guys, a note and not a note has a huge difference, which you don't want. Usually this kind of plot is not preferred. Let me remove it. I think it is already clear. Then printing X head, and using dummies, drop the first and printing the dummies. So straightforward, simple. I don't think there's anything fancy here. So I hope you got the idea how to code and do the plotting part. Now you know Matplotlib, you know pandas plotting, and you know Seaborn. Now you can combine all these together, and wherever whichever you required, you can plot. Strongly recommending do as simple as possible, so you don't have to be very complex on the coding part. As simple you code, better you're going to be at coding, and more you can keep in your memory because things are simple to remember. So I hope you get the idea. This is all for the video guys. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video then.